Joey Reese and Gregory Food Shop.
Let's hear it. What do you want to talk about?
All right,
Nutrition?
you guys. Yeah. So what I want to talk about is I want to start off by talking about horrible routing. And so when you have horrible routing, you have to, and we'll kind of move into all these other things. So the first thing that I want to talk about, and I want to let our peeps know, is the booking game is not as cut and dry as you think it is. It's not, you know, when you look on that tour, that tour shirt of your favorite band, and I always look for, when I look at for my favorite bands and where they're going, you kind of look down and you can see the pattern of where they're going around the country. And so booking is crazy, but every now and then, usually what happens is you play like Detroit, then you play Cleveland, then you play Pittsburgh, then you play Buffalo, then you play New York, and and then it kind of is what it is. It's a very organized thing. But every now and then, or when you're starting off, you get some weird ones, or you get some fly dates, or you get all sorts of things. So we want to talk about that, and then in between that, we want to talk about the nutrition, how to eat when you're on those long rides. You not only have to plan for to fill your belly, but you have to plan for what's gonna upset your stomach, because you don't want to be on a timed trip where we have to be somewhere. We have 48 hours to get to this place that's 44 hours away, and what are we eating? Because I can't be stopping and pooping every 2 miles. I have to somewhat stay healthy so my face doesn't break out. And also hygiene. How am I going to stay clean when I'm just sitting in? We used to have this thing, we called it van face. And so you would be at the hotel and you'd shower and stuff like that before you left for a big long trip. And then after 3 hours, you would have van face, and it would literally be like gelatinous, like jelly. It looked like you had Vaseline smeared all over your face because it was just sitting
so greasy.
It was just so greasy. Oh, it was disgusting. And you could take like a Stridex pad, and you wouldn't even get like 4 inches of like the swipe with like a Stridex pad before you looked at it, and it was just. It looked like you dropped it in an ashtray. I mean, it was disgusting. So let's get into that right off the bat. What comes to mind is some of the worst booking like drives that you ever had to do?
So we've talked about how Denver is not close to anything.
Yeah, so most are probably bad for you.
Yeah, I mean, like, there is, like, this complete division in routing from east to west. So, like, once you hit Kansas City, the next thing is Denver. Or you coming through Nebraska. It's like you may have a show in Omaha or Lincoln, but then Denver, it's 8 hours. If you're coming through the south, like you're going through Texas, it's the same. Like, there's nothing till you get to Albuquerque or Denver, and then it's a long way to the coast. And like once you get to the coast, you can go up and down. So I think for us, it was always tricky to route. I think for most bands, you try and route like something that made sense going up and down the West Coast, but then you're stuck. So like if you start up in like Seattle, this is smart. Like if your band's from Seattle, your MXPX, you go down, you make it to Southern California. You can go to Phoenix. That's like 4 hours.
Yeah.
And then it gets tricky. Like, can you go to Albuquerque? Phoenix is 16 hours from Denver. It's like 12 hours from Salt Lake City. You know, like it gets tricky for a minute. And then once you pass Denver, you've got another 8 hours and then you're back on.
Yeah.
But like going through Texas is the same. Like anytime you're routed through Texas, everything in Texas takes 2 days to get to. It's like if you're going from Dallas to Houston, I think it's like 10 hours. Or like Dallas is kind of close to Oklahoma City. I think it's like 4 hours.
Yeah, I think so.
Like Amarillo is far. El Paso is far.
Amarillo. Have you ever ate at the Big Texan?
No, where they have that sign that's like the 72-ounce steak.
Have we talked about this on here?
No, we have not.
Oh, would you like to hear my Big Texan story?
Yes, Joe.
Have you heard this before?
I've heard you tell it, and it is Joe Gold.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we have stumbled upon the key phrase Amarillo, Texas, and there is a restaurant. If you ever go, there's a restaurant called the Big Texan, and they boast of this meal that you can purchase. It's like $75. Back in the day, I think it was $50. And I think now my sister and brother-in-law were going to go like a year ago. They were going to go, but COVID hit. They had this trip planned to go down to Texas, but COVID hit. And they were going to go to the Big Texan. And what you can do is Big Texan has great food. It's a one and done. It's not a chain. It's a one and done restaurant. Delicious food. And so we would stop in there whenever we passed through. And they have this thing that you can buy. And back in the day, it was like in the 90s, it was $50. And it was a 72-ounce steak. And this was not just a 72-ounce steak that was kind of marbled with fat and maybe, had some fat around the edge of it. It was just a cinder block of pure muscle. It was just a cut of meat that was just a brick of meat.
It's 4.5 pounds of meat.
4.5 pounds of meat. So for $50, you had to eat, hopefully I can remember it. You had to eat the steak, a Texas baked potato, which is roughly the size of a football, an NFL football. You had to eat the steak. You know how I do. I always make lists, and then I go back to the beginning of the list before I say the next thing. Sorry, listeners. So you had to eat the steak, the baked potato, a side salad, shrimp cocktail. But here's the deal. It wasn't shrimp with cocktail sauce. You got a bowl of cocktail sauce that had chunks of shrimp in it. And that's what you had to eat. So you had to eat the steak.
Horseradish and ketchup.
Yes. And my sister makes the greatest horseradish sauce. You would put it on anything. She makes it. It's phenomenal. But so you had to eat the steak, the baked potato, a roll. So the steak, a baked potato, a roll, a salad, and this shrimp cocktail. And if you did this meal, if you purchased it, you sat on this throne made of antlers. And it was on an elevated stage that was like a tree stump. So almost like a redwood, like a sequoia. This giant, like 10-foot. I'm bad at math. I don't know if it's a radius or a circumference or whatever it is, but it's like 10 feet across, like this.
That's circumference. Yes.
Is it?
Radius is just one side. I thought circumference was around the outside, though.
Yeah, that's what I think it is. So I think radius is across. So the radius is like 10 feet across. Then there's this throne like made of antlers with this little table in front of it. So if you order this meal, you sit in this throne of antlers and they bring you your food. And so you're up in front of everybody. This place is well frequented because, again, it just has really good food. And I'll tell you this, if you ever go there and you're not
advertising.
Yeah. And if you ever go there and you don't get this 72-ounce steak, like if you're not going to do the challenge, I recommend the chicken fried steak. It is freaking delicious. I digress. So back to it. We go, the first time we go, nobody does this challenge. Nobody in the band, let me start out by saying nobody in the band has ever done this challenge because it costs too much money. Back then, you guys have heard the stories. We would take our own money out. Nobody is paying $50 to eat this steak because you didn't have that much money when a country fried steak or a chicken fried steak was $12. So just didn't do it. We've eaten there 3 times. The first time we went there, nobody did it. Second time we went there, nobody did it. The third time we went, it was us and I believe Dear Ephesus was with us or Squad 5-0.
Okay.
And we go in there, we sit at this big table, we're all eating, we order our food. This family comes in, they sit next to us, and all of a sudden this dude who looks like Wyatt Earp, the guy's probably 6 foot tall, 100 pounds. This skinny cowboy guy. He's everything you think of Texas. He's wearing cowboy boots. I think he had spurs on his feet. Denim jeans, real tight. He was wearing a plaid shirt. Had a big old Wyatt Earp mustache. And then a big old cowboy hat. Comes in, his tall and lanky, and he sits in the throne, and we're like, oh, dude, we're all sitting at this table. We're like, dude, this guy's going to do it. Well, we hear that we see that his family is sitting right next to us. So we're all like, yeah, we're rooting for him, all this stuff. And they're like, oh, you guys got to cheer him on. You guys got to cheer him on. And his wife is like, if he can't do it, if he fails, she got a new dress. And if he made it, and the other thing, you guys, is if you do it, you get it for free.
So he had to pay the $70,
yes,
or whatever.
Yeah, if he didn't do it, he had to pay the money, and then he would also have to then pay for his wife to get a dress. But if he made it and he got it, he didn't have to pay for her dress, and then his thing was free. So he gets up there and he starts going, and he is doing it just little bite after little bite, and he's getting through it, and he's getting through it, and he's getting through it. And all of a sudden, he's, I would say, 80% of the way through his meal. And what he starts hiccuping. And
No.
he's starting to hiccup. And what he would do is he would like take a bite of steak or baked potato, pop it in his mouth, take a small swig of water, all in like one motion. Bite in his mouth, small swig of water, hiccup, and wipe his mouth. So then it gets to the point where he's finishing, he's hiccuping more. The quick bite, swig of water, wipe the mouth is starting to get a lot more labor intensive. And the hiccups aren't like just quick hiccups. They're kind of, like hiccup. You'd see his shoulders would go up and they'd rest, they'd be up for 2 seconds and then they'd slowly go down. Like he was having trouble keeping it down. So then his wife tells us, okay, you guys, you really have to cheer him on now because he can't stand shrimp cocktail and he can't stand shrimp. So right away, I'm thinking, why didn't he do that first? Like, why didn't he eat that first? Why are you going to eat this after you have 4.5 pounds of beef and say another pound and a half of potato and salad and roll in your stomach? So he picks up like the little cup. You have to eat it with a spoon like ice cream. He takes his first spoonful, puts it in his mouth, and the hiccup isn't a hiccup anymore. It's more of a gag. And so he starts to gag, and he's holding the napkin against his mouth, and he gets himself under control, and he takes a drink of water, and he's probably got 4 spoonfuls of this stuff. So he takes the next one.
4 left, and then he's completed it.
He's completed it. Puts the second spoonful of cocktail sauce with shrimp chunks into his mouth. He's trying to swallow, and he puts the he puts the napkin up to his mouth. He's now wincing and trying to get this bite down.
Oh my gosh.
He takes
No.
So the napkin comes down, he takes a drink of water, and immediately the napkin goes back up as though this bite is fighting. It's not going down. And we've all gone from cheering to now you're like, oh, like what's going to happen? So the air has come out of everybody because we're all thinking like, what is going to happen here?
Yeah.
So the third bite of cocktail sauce goes in, and no more did it go in. And he grabbed the napkin to put it up to his mouth. And the only way I can describe it is if you were trying to tell yourself to be quiet, where you purse your lips and you put your finger right in the middle of your lips. That's what this guy did. And he did that, and he did a big hiccup, like a big burp hiccup. And you could see the excruciating pain on his face. And he did it again and puke. So if his finger was trying to hold his mouth, his finger was trying to hold his mouth shut, and puke shot out because the pressure built up. Puke shot out the corners of his mouth about 2.5 feet either side. About 2.5 feet either side because of the pressure. And then at this point, it's spraying out the sides of his mouth. He's trying to hold his mouth shut, and at this point, he can't. He lets his hand go away, and everything that was in his stomach is released.
Oh my gosh. Everybody's eating. It's
Everybody's eating. Everybody's
family
eating.
Restaurant.
Everybody's cheering him on, and all of a sudden this happens,
Watching
and
him.
everyone's like, "Oh!"
He just,
If you've seen Stand By Me, where Lardass is puking up the blueberry pies, that's what was going on here. It was like you would have thought it was a fire hose. You would have thought it was fake.
oh my God.
It just kept coming and kept coming and kept coming. And people went from cheering to like, that loser. Everyone's like, what a loser.
Oh,
Puke
man.
everywhere, all over his table, all dripping down onto the stage, onto the floor. And so everybody basically turns their back on him like, oh, you failed. And then this dude comes out with a mop and just starts mopping up the puke in the middle of this restaurant.
Oh my
And we all just go back
gosh.
to eating our meals as if we didn't just see that.
Oh.
That's my Amarillo Big Texan story.
So, if you ever go through Amarillo, it's good to stop at the Big Texan.
It is. It's phenomenal.
You see billboards for it for like 200 miles.
Yeah. And it's well worth it. It's well worth
Okay.
it. So
We never went there. You told us a story, and then we're like, I think Fiverr was afraid to take me there. They were like, Reese is going to do that. We
that
did
would've been
have-
awesome.
We had an experience about the middle of Five Iron Frenzy where my friend Chris Baker was going to CU med school. He was our friend. He actually lived with Frank Tate.
I think
And
I
then-
know what story you're going to tell, and I love this.
Yeah, he moved out. He started going to University of Colorado med school. He moves out to Colorado. And when he was doing his clinicals, he's with some doctor and he reads a article about this drug called Propulsid. And the point of Propulsid was for people who had gastric ulcers, it opened your pyloric sphincter so that your stomach would empty faster, so it wouldn't be in your stomach. It would move stuff through your intestines faster. So in Colorado, there is a place called Bojo's, and it's like the Colorado mountain style pizza. They invented this. There's no such thing except Bojo's has this thing.
Okay.
Where it's like, you get pizza, it's like whole wheat crust, which sounds kind of nasty, but it's really good. It's whole wheat crust, and then the crust on the edges is, no lie, like if you get a regular pizza, it's got to be, I don't know, like 3 or 4 inches across. Let's say 3 inches across. It's really thick crust on
wow.
the edges. And then inside, it's just like this bowl of food, like bowl of pizza. It's a lot of toppings that they can load into these. And then you eat the pizza, and then they give you honey, and you can eat the crust like it's a dessert. So it's like, it's really
word.
good pizza. Yeah, it's a lot. Like if you're eating the regular pizza, it's kind of hefty. But they have this thing called the Challenger, where 2 people can eat this thing. And if you eat it in an hour, not only is it free, but you get your picture up on the wall, which is a big deal because there's like 16 people up there and they all look like Shaquille O'Neal. and then you get a T-shirt that said, "I completed the Challenger." So Baker is like, number 1, Reese is the craziest dude I know. And number 2, he eats more than anyone I've ever met. So I'm going to talk to this doctor I'm working with and get him to write me a prescription for Propulsid. We're going to take it and we're going to eat this.
Oh.
So we planned it out. We're like, okay, well, how are we going to do this? Not eat the day before. The day of, drink a gallon of water in the morning.
Oh.
Stretch your stomach out. Drink a gallon of water. Then we're going to take the Propulsid half hour before, go in there, order it, and eat it. So we did it. Like, we pre-gamed for a day and a half, and we go in, and I'm starving. So they're like, okay, they're explaining the rules. They're like, it's real big. I mean, it depends on who's making it. And we're like, how big? And she goes, well, sometimes it's 12 pounds. They weigh it. Sometimes it's 20 pounds.
What?
20 pounds of food. People do this.
How is that? There should be a... No,
Dude,
keep going. There should be a standard.
I don't know. So they weighed it. It was 16 pounds. So the crust on this thing is like this big around, Joe. It's like 6 inches across.
Oh my
it's
gosh.
Huge. And then in it, just whatever they could fill it with. So cheese, meat, all the vegetables, everything.
Twizzlers.
It's full. Twizzlers.
Garbage bags.
And it's
Pizza
in there.
cutter.
So Joe and I are just like, oh my God, what is happening? But we're also starving because we haven't eaten for a day and a half. And we had the Propulsid, so everything is moving through us. I forgot to mention that as soon as we got there, we both had to go to the bathroom because we had diarrhea. So cleaned it out. The Propulsid was working. So we get in, order it, it shows up. We start eating, and very fast, I realized this is impossible. Like, the only way this can be done is not chewing.
Oh.
Like, we're hungry. We're shoving it in our mouth. But you can't eat. Like, you cannot chew fast enough to get this in. I don't know how these dudes did it. Like, I don't know if they're just like opening up their esophagus like they're a snake. They unhinge their jaw.
Yeah.
And they're just shoving pizza in there. But like, I think we both ate like 2 pieces and we were a half hour into it. And there was maybe 3/4 of the pizza left. Let's say 2/3.
Oh my.
And we're just like, and we're full. Like, this is not going well. We had talked about it. Like, don't drink a lot of water. Just fill up with pizza. And by that point, you're just like, our jaws hurt. Like, you couldn't chew the pizza fast enough. So we each do another piece, and we're just full. Like, each. So you imagine it's probably, and let's say 8 pieces of pizza is what they cut it into. So each piece is 2 pounds. So each one of us has eaten 6 pounds of pizza, and still, like, we were still going because our friends were all there, and they're like, "Come on, do it!" And there's no way. Ate it as much as we could, and then we had to pay, like $70 for this piece of pizza, or for this pizza, $80. But you got to take what's left home with you, and everybody's
that you never want to look at again.
Our friends are bummed. I don't want pizza ever again at this point. Because you have to eat the crust too, which was like eating a small loaf of bread. So then we walk out and we're both just like, I can't move. Like, I feel the worst I've felt in my life. Like, it hurts to move. I can't move my stomach or anything. And he goes, "I'm going to make myself throw up." And I go, "Yes, let's do it."
He's like,
So
I'm going to go get a prescription for Ipecac.
We're right in front of Bojo's. There's nobody there, but we don't want to walk any further. So we both shove our fingers down our mouth. And I just remember it was like a tube of solid chewed pizza just coming out of my mouth like a snake.
Oh.
And we're just like, ah. And this family just pulls up in a minivan and the doors open and we're both right in front of the building just heaving out the snakes of chewed pizza, just because we didn't drink any water. It's just this solid and the family opened it and the mom is like, oh, they close the door. Drive away.
We're going to McDonald's. Oh my gosh. Dear Lord. Oh, that's fantastic.
And that's much of my eating so much. Like, I can eat a lot, but I'm just like, and
that'll definitely, if you have a good overeating and you never want to do it again. Cause I used to like Thanksgiving. I used to just gorge myself on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And I don't do that anymore. I'm a 1-plate guy and then I'll eat leftovers for days, but I can't do that anymore where you just feel physically full because your stomach can't stretch anymore.
Yeah.
That thought almost sickens me now.
I used to try and go for 6 plates. They had to be full. 6 full plates at Thanksgiving. And now I'm the same. I'm just like, oh, no.
Yeah. Yep.
No way.
Yep.
One
I can't
plate.
do it anymore. Now, speaking of that, I know we didn't talk about our furthest trip, but we're kind of segueing into this with like nutrition. When you were on tour back then, or I guess even now, were you ever concerned about your nutrition? Or did you ever try and eat healthy, or how did you eat?
Yes, because we would, like, I think we've talked about this, like 5 Iron would eat. We never had that in our rider where we would have, good food. We would just we were trying to be cool. So we just eat what they gave us. And so you'd wake up, hotels then, if they had a breakfast, it was continental breakfast. So it was donuts and stuff. And, like if you eat a donut, it's hard to feel good the rest of the day. Like the
Right.
older you get, you're just like, I think like our first tour, we were just like, sweet, there's breakfast. And you do that for like 3 days in a row and you're like, no, I'm not
Right.
doing it anymore.
Right.
So we would usually not stop for breakfast just because of time. Like it was either like get a full night's sleep or eat. Some of the guys in the band would get up and eat breakfast. Like Micah's famous for this. He loves to go get breakfast. But After a while, you just wouldn't, or you'd stop like around 11 and eat something. Some days you'd eat at a good restaurant, like you'd eat at Cracker Barrel or something.
Yeah.
But most days there was 8 of us, and if you stopped at a restaurant, it took 2 hours. So you'd stop to get gas, and you'd be like, be back in 15 minutes. So you just look for one of those truck stops or like a way off the highway where it's got like 4 fast food restaurants.
Yeah.
And you'd stop, get gas, and you'd be back in 15 minutes or everybody'd be pissed at you. So we just ended up eating a ton of fast food. And so after doing that for like 3 or 4 years, your stomach just is not the same. Like you don't have the ability to eat crap that much.
Yeah.
And so for me, I also, like I've talked about this, I would get sick every tour. And so I was always eating stuff to try and not get sick. Like I was famous for getting jars of that hot pickled garlic and just be eating cloves of garlic to stay, like to keep from getting sick. Or kimchi was my other thing.
You and your frigging like home remedy
I know, man.
voodoo. Like most people
Yeah.
would be like, you know what, I would eat normal, but I would take a lot of multivitamins and vitamin C. And you go to kimchi and
Yeah.
pickled garlic.
I also did the vitamin C. The best thing that I ever did, because
Was
we did not
Fireball.
have health insurance. No, now it is, yeah. But we didn't have health insurance. Like none of us did. And I remember calling around one day, just going through the phone book to try and find health insurance and being like, I don't have health insurance. How much is this? And they'd be like, okay, well, what is your occupation? I'm a musician. And they'd just be like, sorry, we can't insure you. And so after doing that like 3 times, I would start saying, I'm a songwriter. And then they'd question further. They'd be like, do you ever play live? Sometimes. Do you ever jump off things? Damn it. Like,
Click.
yeah. So we couldn't get health insurance. And so like, if I got super sick, I would pay to go to a doctor and, it's like $300.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, you're 25. I'm not going to give you a bunch of antibiotics. You'll be fine. And so you'd be like, thanks, dude. This just cost me $300.
Yeah.
But my dad lived in Phoenix. And so my dad is famous for making runs to Mexico to get drugs. Not drugs, but like, he'd be like, yeah, well, I can get
Viagra.
what he wants now is Viagra.
A barrel of Viagra for.
So, but I'd go down with him because I'd be like, yeah, I want to go to Mexico. And then go to these pharmacies, and you could get like a gallon drum, like a giant gallon of penicillin for like $3. And so I was like, I want that. Yo quiero.
Yeah.
So I had that. It lasted maybe a year. And like, I get it that like most strains of bacteria are resistant to penicillin because of things like this. But like, I knew you had to take it twice a day for 2 weeks on an empty stomach, or on a full, you had to eat, not on an empty stomach. But I ended up taking on this early role of like band doctor, where anytime somebody got sick, we didn't want their cold. So all of a sudden I'm like, here's your regimen of penicillin, just giving it out to everybody.
Like a
and
Civil War doctor.
Yeah, it evolved to azithromycin. I started getting Z-Packs when I went to Mexico, because those are even better.
Yeah.
It's like, it's all there. You take 2 the first day and then just 1 a day for like
Yeah.
8 days, and then you're done.
Yeah.
So I would get a bunch of those, but that was more pricey. So that was our medical plan. But yeah, and then eating kimchi and garlic.
Yeah. I remember, I do not remember anybody in the band ever eating really fast food. I mean, sure, occasionally, but I really don't remember us like getting Taco Bell, McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's. I do not remember guys in the band eating it. I know I didn't eat it. Mm-hmm. But what I do remember is it was always on the late trip, on the long trips. Like you said, you'd stop at a Flying J, you'd stop at somewhere where, they had like a good selection. And my go-to was always the gas station turkey and cheese sandwich that came in like that triangle container.
Yes.
I would always eat those because I thought, okay, this is kind of healthy. So I would always get like a turkey sandwich. I would get like a thing of like Planters trail mix, with the peanuts and the M&Ms and sunflower seeds, or a bag of Doritos, a little grab bag of Doritos. And then I think every musician did this. You always had to get a Gatorade because then once you drank the Gatorade, you would then use the Gatorade bottle to pee in.
Yes.
Because the mouth was wider than like a Coke bottle, a pop bottle. So I was always eating that. And like guys in the band were always, I remember Kyle would always get a sleeve of those chocolate covered donuts. Like the Hostess.
The donuts.
Yeah, donuts. He would always get a sleeve of those, a pack of Nutter Butters, and a quart of like whole milk.
Oh my gosh.
He ate that every single night for 7 years. I mean, every night being in the Insiders, he ate that.
Oh my gosh, he ate that.
Yeah, every single night. But I mean,
same thing.
Yeah, but the guy skateboarded like 20 miles a day, played hockey, did all that. So he stayed in shape, and he would just burn those calories off. But I remember him eating that all the time. But other than that, like as far as like eating unhealthy, I don't think I don't ever remember us eating just like very, very poorly. We were always kind of like, we didn't eat health food, but like I said, I would pick like a turkey and cheese sandwich over, like buying like the taquitos or something like that that's on like the rollers at a gas station or fast food over a cheeseburger. I would always get that stuff. Now, I do remember once we were at a hotel that there was a 7-Eleven close to the hotel, and Bram and I went to the 7-Eleven and we saw that they had Dr. Pepper Slurpees. And so it was an extended period, like maybe like a 48-hour window that we were here at this place. Bram and I probably went to that 7-Eleven 4 times to just keep getting these Dr. Pepper Slurpees. So we were crushing those things. But other than that, like the nutrition was pretty decent. Like whenever I could, then you'd play shows, and usually at shows they would have apples and bananas, stuff like that. And if we walked in and there was apples and bananas, on the table, they were gone. Like all the guys, you would immediately be like, oh, fresh fruits and vegetables. Or if they had that veggie tray with the cauliflower,
the next day.
Yeah, broccoli, baby carrots, you were tearing that thing up. But I don't remember us ever eating like horribly. But some of those trips went long. What was, from what you can remember, like what was some of your longest trips? I remember with the Insiders, we did one with POD where we played Oklahoma City. And then when we were done with Oklahoma City, we had to drive to Tacoma, Washington.
Oh my gosh, from Oklahoma City.
From Oklahoma City to Tacoma, Washington. And if it was 26 hours away, if it was 24 hours away, we had like 26 hours to get there. It was crazy. We hardly
hold this.
Yeah, absolutely.
So proud of you. She got straight A's.
Oh, heck yeah. Good job.
So,
So
wait, we have to go back to talking about food because I have 2 things to add.
Yeah, go on.
So Dennis he was notable for trying to eat well. He would not eat the fast food. He would usually pack stuff from the night before, like fruits and stuff, or go to a grocery store and get stuff.
Oh, wow.
Keith and Leonore were vegetarians for most of 5 Iron, so they would eat better. But the rest of us, like I remember with Sonny and I we would do the Monopoly every year with McDonald's. We ate so much McDonald's. Our stomachs are wrecked from it. But I remember 2 things. So me trying to get enough vitamin C. Usually I would drink. This happened too when I would start to get sick because I'd do it on stage. I needed a lot of something really citric, because I was making a lot of phlegm. So I would drink like a gallon of grapefruit juice, which awful for your stomach.
Yeah.
Like I would do that at first. When we were trying to do healthy, I would buy those Mexican, like the juices with the pulp in it, like mango juice and stuff, because it's delicious, but they're each like 800 calories. You know? So I would do that and then buy that thing of juice and drink like a gallon of grapefruit juice a day. That was kind of my lunch. And we would go through phases where we were trying to lose weight. So we'd drink we just get a case of like Slim Fast, and Andy and Sonny and I'd be drinking Slim Fast.
Yeah.
Which would give you diarrhea.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
we do that and then just eat at the venue.
Yeah.
One tour, I think it was the Electric Youth Tour. We were out with Ace Troubleshooter and Reliant K. Somehow this dude from our label, Aaron James, got Power Bar to sponsor it.
Yeah.
So they sent us cases of Power Bars. And all of a sudden, we're just like, I'm going to save so much money on food. All of us. We're just like, this is so sweet. It's good for you. We'll eat Power Bars instead of breakfast and lunch. And by the 3rd day, nobody could poop.
Yes.
We were just like so plugged up
Yeah.
from Power Bars, nobody could poop. And then it was really easy to get a Power Bar in 5 Iron Frenzy because nobody wanted to eat them.
Yeah, we did the same thing. We did a tour with the W's. So we did a tour with the W's and somebody else, and
It was probably this tour. It was you. It was the 3 bands. It was us and you and the W's. That was probably the Power Bar tour.
Yeah, and that was where Brett Barker, because he couldn't poop, his intestines. Do you remember this?
Yes.
So everybody's eating
This is
Power
right.
Bars. Everybody's eating Power Bars, just like you said. They're nothing but protein. Nobody's eating on the road because we were all just like, oh, this is free stuff here, so we'll just eat Power Bars.
Let's save some money.
Save some money. So Brett Barker, the trumpet player for the W's, he's eating Power Bars just like everybody else. Suddenly, a few days into the tour, nobody could poop. Nobody could poop because everyone's backed up. But Brett, it went a little further. And all of a sudden, Brett's like hurting. And we're all like, dude, like, what's wrong? He's like, my stomach, man, like my stomach. And I just think I have this like wad of protein bar in there. He ended up
Hospitalized.
He ended up, that's right. He ended up hospitalized where we played whatever show.
That's right.
He went to the hospital. The tour went on and he had to remain in the hospital, didn't come back to the tour. And then actually, I can't remember if he had to have the surgery there or if he flew home. And
I think he had it there. His parents had to fly out to be with him.
Yes.
They had his intestines out of his body on the table, like on an operating table, so they could figure out what was clogging them up.
Oh, my word.
And it like resection his small intestine.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And then he ended up, they like cut out whatever section, put it all together and squished all his guts back in him. Yes. And he was never the same after that. He was never the same. He could never hit that high note.
He's gone back like 2 or 3 times. He's had to go back to the hospital like to get stuff rearranged.
Oh my gosh.
Power bars.
All because of Power Bars. That is brutal. That's brutal. So we were talking about nutrition,
Routing of
worst
tours.
routing, and hygiene.
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 Hi.
Hygieno.
Hey, Gino.
All right, you guys. So if you guys are listeners, you what you don't know is that we had to take a little break. So we are now back for the Patreon members. We are back. We took a little break, but to you, it's going to seem seamless. It is going to be absolutely seamless, and we're just going to keep talking about what we were talking about. We were talking about nutrition, long drives. I think I said already that I believe the longest drive we ever had was Oklahoma City. It was us and POD. I believe it was our Rebel Alliance tour. And it was Oklahoma City to Tacoma, Washington. And if it was 26, if we had to be there in 26 hours, like if the show was in 26 hours, we had like 24 hours to get there.
Yeah.
We had like a small window. And what I mean by that, you guys, obviously it takes, so if it's midnight or whatever, we were playing the show 26 hours from like the time we left, and it's 24 hours to get there. But then you have to factor in like stopping for gas, stopping to grab something to eat, to go to the bathroom. So it was cutting it so close.
Did you make it?
We did make it. And that was also the time that we were driving, and there's a stretch of Montana where there's no speed limit.
Yeah.
On the highway, and POD was driving, and they had all the weight in their trailer at the back of it.
Right.
And so their trailer was all over the place. We thought we were going to see POD die, but we didn't. They made it.
It's good.
Yeah. That was one of the longest trips we had. I mean, and again, people, just so you understand, we did things where we had to drive from Detroit to California, and we had long distances to travel. That's kind of not what we're talking about. We're kind of talking about where you just had some crazy booking where it wasn't, we had to leave Detroit and we had 4 days to get to California. This is more like, again, a tour. You play on a Monday and then you play on a Tuesday. And where you have to be between Monday and Tuesday is this ridiculous amount where you're cutting it close. So we've had to do those. I remember a couple of the flying ones I've talked about on here before. Once, again, we flew from Oklahoma City to Dallas, got on a little puddle jumper. Then we got on a big jet. We flew from Dallas to Atlanta, played that festival that was in Atlanta.
Yeah, Atlanta Fest.
Yeah, it's funny that I forgot the name of that. That seemed pretty easy. Then got back on the plane, flew back, and then we played Dallas that night. So that was a crazy day. And then the other one that I remember is we played in Tampa, and we had to fly from Tampa to Seattle.
Jeez.
By way of Minneapolis.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so that was I believe that was an 11-hour flight where we flew from Tampa to like St. Paul, and then St. Paul to Seattle. I think it was 11 hours.
I just looked, driving Oklahoma City to Tacoma, Washington is 1,995 miles, 30-hour drive.
Yeah.
And you did it in 24.
Yeah, it was like a 30-hour drive, and whatever it was, we got there like just in time to be able to play it.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty fun.
The one that I remember the most, it is just Denver to Portland, which is not quite as much. It's 1,241 miles, 18 hours. We did that when you guys dropped off the Scamania tour, and we had to do it on Thanksgiving. And then I remember driving from Tampa to Bushnell, Illinois, to play Cornerstone.
I don't think that's as far as you think it is.
It is 1,161 miles, 17 hours, 36 minutes. But I think what was so upsetting was we were soaking wet, and we just jumped in the van and drove straight there. Like we were soaking wet with show sweat, and we drove. That was nasty. I think we had some crap routing, but like that. Like, why would you want to play and then immediately drive 17 hours?
Right.
But it wasn't terrible. Like, it wasn't Oklahoma City to Tacoma. We did drive. I'm trying to think. I mean, we had a lot of drives where we would go to San Francisco from Denver because our label was out there. So that was always long. That was like a 36-hour drive. We had one.
See, it's weird because for me, I think about like Denver to San Francisco, and you say that it's 36 hours, but what's weird is like Detroit to like Florida is 24 hours. And it's weird. It's weird that from Detroit to Florida, Detroit, Michigan to Florida is quicker than Denver to San Francisco. I would think it was like a 16-hour.
I just looked it up. It's 19 hours, 1,200 miles. But the problem is because you have to go north to get on I-80. So we'd go up to like Cheyenne and then cut over, and then it drops down. It like drops down through Reno. So it's just like a lot of driving out of your way. And it's all desert too. Like once you hit Utah, it's just desert until you get to California. We had some bad flight routing. Like I remember we drove to San Francisco, I think maybe we drove to San Francisco, played a show, went to LA, flew to Hawaii, and then it was the middle of winter, and we weren't thinking. We were just like, cool, we're going to Hawaii. Well, then we had to go to Boston after that, so we flew from Hawaii to Boston. And didn't bring coats. So Hawaii was like 85, and Boston was like negative 32. It was so cold. We all went to like a thrift store and just bought the warmest things we could get and just wore it for like, we were there like, I want to say like 3 or 4 days. It was a good time.
Why in the world? Who booked that?
Probably Frank Tate. But
oh my gosh, who in the world would think to go from Hawaii to Boston?
Well,
that's what, a 16-hour flight, 17-hour flight.
Yes, it was long, but like this is
Detroit to Hawaii is 13 hours.
Right. It was long, but I guarantee, like Frank was just like, this is going to be so cool. This will be so fun. Like these, kids, these 20-year-olds get to go to Hawaii. And then the next show I have for him is in like at this cool university in Boston, and all the kids are going to show him around, and they get to stay in the dorm rooms and stuff. So like Kevin Brennan, who's one of our Patreons, that's where I think we met him before, but like that's where we really got to know him. He and a bunch of his dorm mates were up playing Halo, and I remember like several of us slept on his dorm room floor and played Halo all night with these college kids.
Oh, nice.
It was so cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Now, did you at least get to stay a little bit in Hawaii, like a day or two before flying?
Yeah, no, I think we got like a week. It was.
Oh, well, that makes sense then. I'm thinking like you went there, played, turned around, and flew to Boston.
No, we played on Oahu. I think we played twice. We played at the University of Hawaii, and then we played at some church, and then we played on Kauai, and there was some Hawaiian punk band. I'm trying to think what their name was. They were from Kauai. They lived in Hanalei, and starts with an S. I don't know. Hopefully, one of our Patreons can remember.
Slipknot.
But Slipknot. Have you ever heard of them?
Maybe you heard of them. They're
Slayer.
They're a very
Hawaiian
popular
punk band.
Hawaiian punk band. Yeah.
But yeah,
other
man,
day-
it was so cool. We played at some high school on Kauai. It was poorly attended, but holy crap, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you going back to when you said you had to, after Florida, get in a truck and soaked with sweat.
Yeah.
This brings up hygiene while doing this. So let's tell our listeners the hygiene regimen that usually happens after a show or on those long drives. What would it be for you guys when you jumped in the school bus after Tampa and you had to drive to Oklahoma City? What type of hygiene is happening there?
This is one thing I think people don't realize is that, like, when you sweat like you're playing basketball or you're running or something, totally different than show sweat, because, and this is nasty, because show sweat is part yours and then part just everyone else's, because it's so, like, everybody is sweating and it's usually poorly ventilated. So it's just like, especially like in Tampa, just humid. So it's just moist.
Yeah.
So show sweat was different because like, it wasn't the stinkiest. It was just nasty wet. So not that we would like sit in that the whole way. I think what we did was we drove to like a truck stop, and at truck stops, I don't know if it's still like this. I think it is. You can pay for a shower at some truck stops.
Right. This is what people don't know.
Yes. So
Yeah, so tell them this story. Tell them what they can do.
So if you're on the road, there's a lot of truck stops, and it's like paying for a hotel room, but all you're paying for is a shower. So somebody goes in and cleans the shower, and then they give you like like a towel and a washcloth and a bar of soap, and they might have shampoo in there and stuff. It's not like a really nice hotel, but you can take a shower, and it's like $8. And so for us, we'd pay $8 and then just keep sneaking into each other's shower, leave the door open, and then it's your turn. And so we'd all get a shower for $8.
Yeah, so just like Reese said, you paid like $8. I remember $5, but whatever it was, you paid a certain fee, and then when you turned your towel and washcloth back in, you got like $3 back.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what it was. It was $8. You turned your towel and washcloth in, and then you got $3 back. So you ended up paying $5 for like a shower and all that stuff.
But half the time they were just filthy. You would just be like, you'd have to wear flip-flops in the shower.
Yeah. I don't know if you can hear my sister. She's talking baby talk to a dog on the other side of my door.
I did hear it.
Yeah, so that just picked her up. So, yeah. Back to the thing. So you would the one time I used it one time, the truck stop thing.
Yeah.
We usually had things planned pretty well where we could grab a shower before we left. There were a few times where we didn't, and it was, you make that calculated, well, I'm not going to shower tonight because we have to drive overnight, but we're going right to the hotel and I can shower in the morning.
Yeah.
Like sometimes there's those, and normally we had it where it was like that. You could get in, and just like you said, it's different from sports sweat. Because with sports sweat, you're wearing breathable materials. You're wearing, unless you're like in hockey gear. But even so, like in hockey, I play hockey. I wear all that gear. But like when you do a show, you're wearing regular clothes. Like you're wearing boxers and socks.
Yeah.
And all that. And then the show's over, and your same boxers that are soaking wet back in the days when we played, we were wearing like jean shorts,
Right.
and not like real breathable materials. They didn't have any of this Under Armour. Back then it was still called spandex and nobody wore it. And so nothing was breathable. So you were just absolutely soaked. You might, at the show, you might take off your pants and boxers and like put on like a dry pair maybe.
Yeah.
But I mean, then you were still, again, covered in what we talked about earlier, like van face. Like you still had that like congealed sweat that was like just bacon grease all over you.
Van face.
And then depending on what your routine was the day prior, I mean, sometimes it could have been, just kind of these like quick showers and like a quick this, a quick that. So the funk was always going. I remember we did a tour with Squad 5-0, one of their first tours, where they really, really tried to not shower the entire tour.
Oh my
So
gosh.
the entire tour, they were just like, we're not showering. They just wanted to be like dirty gutter punk.
I vaguely remember them doing this and talking
Yes.
to us about it.
Yeah. And it just got to the point where, like, I don't even think it was us. And maybe my brain has thought it was us. Maybe they were on tour with someone else. And, it just got to the point where somebody, I think one of their wives were out with them. And they were just like, dude, enough. Like,
I'm
go
getting
take-
divorced.
Yeah, go take a shower. This is disgusting.
Yeah.
So,
I would usually take one every other day, unless it was like a particularly nasty show. But it was just because, like, I wanted to sleep. Like, you get home, you get back to the hotel after a show, and you'd be like, do I want to wait in line to take a shower with whoever the 4 people I am sharing a room with, or go to sleep? And then you'd be like, sleep. And then you're again like, do I want to get up at 6 so I can take a shower, or sleep? And so I started trying to take one like every other day,
yeah.
which might have made me stink, but
Well, I mean, you know me. I have a pretty hardcore regimen on how I shower and keep myself clean. And I remember back with the Insiders, it was the same exact thing. Like, you'd get to the hotel, and it was like, if I take a shower, it might wake me up,
yeah.
Because remember, Irish Spring is the eye opener, right? And so if you showered, sometimes that'd wake you up, and then you wouldn't get to sleep. You'd get there tired, take a shower, feel better, and kind of feel like refreshed.
Yeah.
So it was that. And then in the morning, once you were asleep, you just wanted to stay asleep. So in the morning, some of the best sleep I've ever gotten in my life was I would sleep at the hotel for, say, you'd get in at 1 a.m. So you'd sleep from like 1 to 6. And then you'd just get up and stagger out to the truck.
Yep.
Get back in your bunk, go back to sleep, and then you're to your next place by 1 p.m. So again, you weren't showering. What was always awesome was that when you got to the venue, if they had a shower.
Yes. Which didn't happen
Especially,
a lot
like-
when you're playing churches. But
Correct.
But venues, real venues, yes. Half
Yeah.
of them are just nasty. Like you're like, I don't know how many people had sex in this shower before I got here.
Yeah.
But some of them super nice.
You'd have to like put your feet in like bread bags and then put your bagged foot onto a flip flop in order to stand in the shower.
We all like our first couple tours got athlete's foot. Like we'd all just have it. Everybody's feet would be itching. And then somebody'd buy like the Lotrimin and we'd all just be freebasing it. But then you realize like the best way to not get athlete's foot is pee on your feet every time you're in the shower. And I'm sorry, but I still do it out of habit.
I'm not going to lie. I do it too. I do it too.
Always pee on your feet.
Mine came from when I was in the roofing academy. So when I went to roofing academy,
You
there
got
were-
some athlete's foot.
I got athlete's foot while in there, and that's how it was. Like the peeing in the Lotrimin, it was so bad that did nothing. So I
jeez.
actually had to get prescription.
Oh my
And-
gosh.
But I didn't go to the doctor to get prescription. Another one of my classmates in academy had it,
Oh my
got rid of
gosh.
it, and then gave me their prescription, like what they had left.
Did it work?
Yeah. It did work.
Oh, my
It
gosh.
did work, but still to this day, I pee on my feet like every single time I'm in the shower just to kill any bacteria
Oh my gosh.
or jellyfish stings.
Yes, or jellyfish things. They're both
In ca-
handy for those
In
things.
case I was walking home from work and got stung by a jellyfish, I would just pee on it.
Dangerous roofing.
Right? Roofing isn't what it used to be.
So we used to do this thing also we called truck stop showers, which was either out of truck stop, you'd bring in your towel and everybody had like a loofah or a washcloth, and you just basically pull your pants down and like scrub up your junk and take off your shirt and like at the sink give yourself
Yeah.
some sort of wipe down. And that was, like there'd be guys coming in and out like, what the hell is going
Yeah.
on?
Yeah.
But you do that
Yeah.
also like on days when you didn't take a shower in the hotel. You just be like, yeah, it takes 5 minutes to wipe myself down, or no sleep. So you do that. And then, did you guys do that? Truck stop showers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Where
had-
you're doing it's like you're standing at the sink with your shirt off, like you're washing your hands, but then you take your sudsy hands and do like your armpits.
Yeah.
And then you go down and get the junk, get the undercarriage.
Yep.
Yeah.
Balls itch for 2 days because you leave soap on them.
Yeah. But it was antibacterial.
So we had a summer where, like we were always playing the festival circuit where half of the shows were like, you remember, like at amusement parks, and it was just hotter than balls. It was so hot.
Yeah.
And somebody was like, oh man, have you ever tried Gold Bond? And we're like, what? What do you mean? That stuff you put on your feet? And they're like, no, dude, just put it on your balls. And so all of a sudden, it was probably another band because it was going around between all the bands that like putting Gold Bond, and there was like an extra mentholated version, and it was magic. It was like air conditioning on your nuts. You would just fill up your underwear with them and like rub all your nuts and stuff, and you get that part because everybody's wearing boxers and baggy shorts. So
Yeah.
your legs would rub together if you had to walk anywhere,
Yes.
and you just get chafed, and that would kind of stop that. So we were doing it like all the time, like sometimes in place of showering, Gold Bond, but definitely because it was cool, and you're walking around these festivals and stuff, and your butt cheeks are not getting raw, and your legs aren't getting raw.
Yeah.
Micah did it to the point where it was like eating away at his scrotum. And he had to stop because it was just like, it was like getting like a second degree burn on his nutsack.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Too much
my
Gold
gosh.
Bond.
Holy cow.
But we were obsessed with it until we saw Micah's sack, and then just, all right.
No.
Rein that
I
in.
don't think anybody in our crew ever did the Gold Bond.
You didn't.
I don't think so, man. That's not something that rings a bell.
All right, well, do it. Just don't go overboard. It's magical.
Well, now I don't do it. And where I am in life right now, it's boxer briefs, so it kind of holds everything together. You don't get that chafing. But
Yeah.
then if I am going to spray a little, how's your father down there? It's the Arm & Hammer fresh scent,
Huh.
like the aerosol dry spray.
Yeah.
Ooh-wee. That's where it's at.
Is it cooling? What does it do?
It's cooling. It's one of the nicest smells you'll ever smell in your life.
Okay.
It comes in like a yellow bottle. It's like $7 for a bottle, but it's just like an aerosol spray. So you like and just, spray your junk and your undercarriage.
Ha. Arm & Hammer
Phenomenal.
fresh scent.
Yeah, you got to get the fresh.
Okay.
It smells so good. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll even spray like a little like on my chest or like just below my neckline so I can like smell it as the day goes on. It's
What?
so nice. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you guys, we are both yawning and we're reaching the time where I think we're done. I think we're done with this episode, man.
Yeah.
So, Patreons, we want to thank you again so much for not only supplying us with funds to be able to do this and make it worth our while to sit here every week and do it. We just thank you for the love that you show us through messages that you send us, through texts that you give us. So many of you have reached out over the past weeks to say, hey, any way that I can help out, I'm a graphic designer, or I do web pages, or I do this or that, or marketing. Me and Reese just don't have it together to sit down and figure out what you guys can help us with. But when we do one day, we'll reach out to you guys and hopefully we can get a nice little team together to be able to take this to the next level. So we thank you, Patreon. If you guys have anything that you want us to talk about, let us know. Always let us know. If you have a show that you're like, hey, this is the show that I think you should talk about, give us 3 topics. You could talk from this, about this, and about this. By all means, send that to us because we do run out of ideas. We have to try and figure out what we're going to talk about each week. So if you guys have stuff you want us to talk about, stories, anything like that, questions you've ever wanted to ask us, feel free to ask us those. Reese, do you have anything?
I do not. Whatever Joe just said.
Blot out. All right, you guys, have a good one. Peace out.
Piece of pizza!